This morning is an Ask Me Anything morning. This question came in from Eric Woodard. Good morning, Eric. Eric wrote this. Okay, Darren Hardy, here's my question. Am I a bonehead for working for somebody else instead of working for myself? Do you think people who work for themselves are cooler than those who work for others? Be honest, and thank you. In a word, Eric, no. I absolutely do not think working for somebody else makes you a bonehead. Otherwise, we'd all be boneheads. Here's the first thing you need to come to terms with in life. We are all working for someone. All of us. Yes, even Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, and anyone else you could possibly think of is exchanging value for money in the marketplace. Jeff, Elon, and Warren work for their shareholders and report to their board of directors. They can be fired at any time. Just ask Steve Jobs or Andrew Mason of Groupon, Jerry Yang of Yahoo, and Jack Dorsey of Twitter. And who they really work for, though, are their team members who really make all the magic happen and their customers who feed the till. Each of those people determines their paycheck and can fire them at any time, too. And in the end, we all work for the government anyway. Nearly half our income goes to the boss man, Uncle Sam. So we are all bought wholesale and then sold retail for our productive work. So there's that. This is an important distinction, and I hope that you're getting it. You are in a contract relationship with someone always. You are exchanging your value for value in return. As an entrepreneur, your employer is your customer. The employment contract is open-ended. There are no guarantees. As an employee, your employer is the one who signs your paycheck. That contract is pre-negotiated. That makes your compensation and your cash flow a bit more stable and predictable. There is a different exchange rate for that predictability. That's all. Now, you might say that you can have more freedom by being your own boss. Well, we've already discussed you are not your own boss. You end up with many more bosses than just one. And instead of the burden of your single job role, you now have the burden of all of it on your shoulders. You have everyone's livelihood and future on the line, everyone's mortgage, car payment, vacation fund, kids' college fund, and retirement fund. All of it sits squarely on your shoulders. So yeah, there's that fun. Here is how the entrepreneur everyone admires, Elon Musk, put it. Quote, starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. End quote. How does that sound? He explains, quote, eating glass because the most crap thing the company has going on ends up on your desk. You don't get to do the thing you love, which is why you started the company. No, as the owner and the one responsible, the worst problems of the company is what you need to spend your day on. And staring into the abyss because, quote, it's quite exciting for the first several months of starting a company. And then reality sets in. Things don't go as well as planned. Customers aren't signing up. The product or technology isn't working as well as you thought. And that sometimes can be compounded by a recession. And it can be very painful for several years. I would advise people starting a company to have a very high pain tolerance. End quote. Talking to a group of budding entrepreneurs, he adds, quote, if you're going into it expecting it to be fun, you will be disappointed. It's not. It's quite painful. It's much easier to get a job somewhere. Much, much easier. Much less stressful. You'll have more time for other things. If you need inspiring words, here they are. Don't do it. End quote. I would say that there are two things you have to consider here. One, do you have that high pain tolerance? Because entrepreneurship or being your own boss is not like you hear about on your Instagram or Facebook feed. 66% of all small businesses fail. They fail for a reason because it's hard. And most people don't really have the pain threshold to suffer that hard, that long to get to the other side. So that's one. And then number two, are you really wired for it? Because see, it's one thing to be a great role player, to perform a job role with excellence and being able then to run a company. Two very different things. Look at it this way. Tom Brady is pretty good at his job, right? I mean, he really does his job. And well, but let's say he wanted his boss's job. Let's say he wanted Bill Belichick's job. He'd probably suck at it. As good as he is as a quarterback, it's likely Tom Brady wouldn't be anywhere near as good at running the whole organization, as Bill does. And let's say that Tom watched the Gary Vee video or saw people on Instagram telling him that he was a chump if he wasn't his own boss. If Tom left the quarterback position in the attempt to try to build a paper manufacturing conglomerate to over $6 billion in net worth so he could afford to own the Patriots, probably Tom would have lost his rear end and nobody would even know his name today. Do you have any less respect for Bill Belichick because he works for Robert Kraft? Do you have any less respect for Tom Brady because he works for Bill and Robert? I'd say they're all doing just great, and mostly because they found how they play their very best role. They found what they're really good at and how they wanted to live, and they did that. They didn't try to be someone else or something else. So the bottom line here, Eric and everybody else, is we're all boneheads. We all work for someone. Just choose who you want to work for and doing what. That is the question to answer. Do you want to put your hands under the center and be the one responsible for throwing the ball? Do you want to recruit, design plays, study film ad nauseum, and run the staff? Or do you want to fret about the cash and handle the lawsuits and deal with the NFL commissioner? Either way, we all have a job and we all have a boss to report to. So you just need to pick which is your preference. Okay, let's have a little post-Darren Daily discussion here. I want you to become a rock star in your marketplace. That is my goal. The first way that we do that is by having you show up here each morning. That way we can keep your mind inspired and your heart emboldened. Then you also need real skills. You can't just be motivated. You have to also be skilled. Jim Rohn would say, if a guy's an idiot and you motivate him, now what do you have? Right, a motivated idiot, the most dangerous type. So where do you go to get the training you need to develop the real skills that you need? It's not easy, let me tell you. It has been my job for 25 plus years to curate the entire success industry, and that is all their resources as well, to weed out the weak, the weird, and the downright dangerous advice. One of my superpowers is to vet, filter, and distill down the very best of a complex body of knowledge into the most essential, the stuff that really matters, and then repackage it into a learning framework so that anyone in any industry can apply it. It's kind of like taking the entire produce section of a grocery store and then running it all through a giant juicer. So instead of having to chew your way through the mountain of fruits and vegetables yourself, which would take you a lifetime and leave you with a sore jaw and a bloated belly, you can just get the extracted, compressed juice with all the vitamins, minerals, nutrients, antioxidants that you need in concentrated form that is mixed to be tasty, easy to drink, more absorbable to your body, and you can actually utilize all the nutrition that you're taking in. That is what I did for you inside the eFastPass program. I distilled down the 4 most essential skills to be successful as an entrepreneur or as an intrapreneur, somebody that is looking to rise within an organization. The critical skills of selling, recruiting, leadership, and productivity. I took each of those vast bodies of knowledge and compressed them down into the most essential elements for mastery in each skill. In 12 half-gallon servings, in 12 modules of juice, you will get the most concentrated, nutrient-dense, high-octane extract of what it takes to thrive in business. If you run your own business or if you are a leader within a growing business, I want to offer you a $500 scholarship towards membership into the eFastPass program. If you want to step out of the shadows of just being a passive spectator watching Darren Daily to an active achiever, engaged in the skills and training needed to advance your results and success, this is me extending my hand to you with a $500 scholarship in it. I can help you. I can guide you. I can elevate you to the next level of success in the business world if you will just step forward and join me. The choice is yours. You are free to accept or reject my open hand. Know that either way, I'm doing my part to be your trusted ally. The one you can always turn to, the one that will always be there for you all along your heroic journey in life. I hope that you will take my hand and join me.